This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I love being here helping you with playing the guitar. This is lesson 19 in this mini course that is all about flat picking. In this lesson, we're continuing to build on what we've been doing in the last couple of lessons and actually even the last several lessons. So, we've been working with the strumming pattern bass down up, alternate bass down up. We've been doing that for a while. The new thing that we're focusing on right now is inserting bass note runs between the chord changes. That sort of thing. So we started this a little bit in the last couple of lessons, and we're going to build on that here doing the chords G, C, and D7. So if you need a little bit more help with G, C, and D7, you can check out the last couple lessons. If this strumming pattern is new to you, you're just jumping into this course right here. This is the first video. You want to check out lesson 13 for help with doing this strumming pattern with these chords. Here in this lesson, I'm not going to go over that again. I'll review a little bit with walking or doing the bass note run between these chords, and we're going to jump in and do a song, Oh Susanna. Down in the description below there's a link, and you can click on that to download a free copy of the sheet music in PDF form. I also have the chord progression up here on the board, but download that music for Oh Susanna. Okay, I'm going to jump in. Like I said, I'm not going to work on this strumming pattern or explain it again specifically, but if you need help with it, check out lesson 13 for these chords. We're going to go ahead and review how we can walk to these different chords. So there's a couple different ways for each of the chords. We can approach them from above or below. So we have the low bass note, the lowest root. On the G chord, we'll start with the G first. We can approach it from the third above down to the second and then onto that root. So B, A, G. In a G scale, B is the third, A is the second, and G is that one or that root. So I can approach the G going B, A, G. 2, open down to that root, which is at the third fret of the sixth string. So on the fifth string, second fret, then open, and we're there. On that as much as you need to. We did that in previous lessons. Now you can also approach the G chord from below, so steps 6, 7, and then 8 are the roots again. So 6 would be the open E string, F sharp is our second fret, and then G. So that's step 6, 7, and then up to G from the G major scale. So So that's the G. That's the ways we can approach the G. Let's look at the C next. C is very similar, only everything's on higher strings. So I can approach the C chord from the third of that chord, or the C major scale will work just fine for us. And I've got the second fret of the fourth string, which is the E or the third, to the open fourth string for the D, which is the second step down to that C. So 2, open. There's a little bit of a review on that one. I can also approach it from below, doing steps 6, 7, and then up to that root. When I say 6, 7, those are in relation to the C chord itself, not to the key of G which we're in, though these notes, A, B, and then C, are in the key of G. But I'm just thinking about it in relation to the C chord right now. So, open 2 up to that third fret on that fifth string. That's how we approach C. With the D7, we've got a couple different options as well. If we approach it from above, we're going to have the step 3, down to the second step, and then to that D. So the third of the D7 chord is an F sharp, so that's at the fourth fret of the fourth string. Then the E is the second, and that is on the second fret of the fourth string, and then the open D. So 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open. Get And that pinky action is a little bit more involved. You can, if you want to, go 3-1, meaning ring finger index, if you'd rather do it that way. So that's ways we can approach the D7 from above. There's a couple ways from beneath. So it's a D7. Uses a Mixolydian scale. It's a major scale with a flatted seventh by comparison to the regular old major scale. So in approaching it from below, then I've got step 6, which is the B, and then the C is the flatted seventh up to that D. So that would be 2nd fret on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 5th string to the open D. And that works well. I have another option. If I want to get a little chromatic, I can use the flatted 7th, which is the C, up to C sharp, which would be like the major 7th or the natural 7th, up to that D. So in this case, frets 3 and then 4 on the 5th string to that open D7, or the open D for the root of the D7. So either one of those work from below for D7. Flatted 7th chords are kind of interesting that way. Okay, so now if we were to plug this in to a chord progression, we need to put the walk, or the moving bass run, on beats 3 and 4 in the measures. So when we have a full measure of a chord, we play bass down up, and then we insert that run on beats 3 and 4 in place of the alternate bass down up. So going from G to D7, it's really easy. We're going to insert it on the measure right before the chord, the new chord, and we do bass down up and then switch to D7. So I just did a whole measure of G, the bass down up, walk to the D7. So in playing this first line, I would have G, 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 and walk to D7. And that's as simple as it is. Now, when a chord only lasts for one measure, like this one does, and then we go to a new one, it can be kind of fast to throw in a new run, and it's kind of up to you if you want to do it. There's the maximum number of times we could do it in a song, and then there's like the practical, how many times do I really like doing it or want to. But with this one, if I want to throw it in, I've got bass down up, and then I'm going to have to walk back to G. So my walk back to G could involve any of the ones that I had, and actually walking to the D7 could involve any of them. I chose 4-2 open, but I could have as easily chosen 2-3 on that 5th string, or 3-4 if I wanted the chromatic. So I'd have G, G, and then walk to D7 back to G. That's how fast that would happen if I do one here. So it's up to you. If you want to throw one in, you can. You don't have to. Now, when we have chords where there's 2 chords per measure, we can't really throw in a run. It just does not work to throw in that walk on the first 2 beats of the measure very well. So that just doesn't work. So we wouldn't do one between G and D7, and then this is only half measure. We would not do one back to G. So in that case, we're just going to have G, D7, G. Can't do it there. But even though I have one measure of G, we can walk up to C. On this measure of C, we can walk back to G. If we want to, we could walk to D7. If we want to, we can walk back to G. And then that's the only one we can do there. So we can throw them in. This song's a little bit practical in the sense that a lot of times we only get a chord for one measure, and we don't always want to throw them in. In this song, the best places to throw them in for sure is between G and D7, and then between G and C is kind of nice, but it's really fast, but definitely between the C and G. And then those are really the 2 spots that it works really well in this one if you don't want bass run overload, so to speak, between the C and G and between the G and D7. Now, with the chord progression I have up here on the board, 3 measures of G, then D7, 2 measures of G, half a measure of G, half a measure of D7, then a measure of G. That whole thing happens again those two lines. And then we go on to the last measures here with 2 measures of C, 1 G, 1 D7, 2 of G, half a measure of G, half a measure of D7 back to G. You can see that down in the sheet music if you've downloaded it, but that's how that works up here on the board. Okay, let's just go ahead and try playing this song. I'm going to insert them pretty frequently so you can hear what that sounds like, but the greatest places to really work on it, if you don't want to insert it everywhere, it's going to be between here and here and between here and here. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Now, there's different ways we can use the alternating bass in the strumming patterns. It doesn't matter which one you're using. We're not focused on that now. But lesson 13 explains the different options. Okay, we'll just try and play this song. Throwing in these walking bass notes. Oh, so we got 1, 2, I want to. Oh, I come from Alabama with the banjo on my knee. Okay, so I'm going to take it just a little bit faster so you can hear how that sounds. I'll try and throw in some different variations, maybe do it a little bit different than I did last time because we got the different options for approaching each chord. Super fun. So we'll go back here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I come from Alabama with the banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left. Was dry. The sun's so hot it froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. 'Cause I come from Alabama with the banjo on my knee. Super fun. Okay, we've never done this song before yet in the mini course, so I'm going to go ahead and play the melody as I've mentioned in previous lessons. As we push towards later in this course, where we're going to be working on the melodic content that happens in flat picking, I want to start working on that with simple melodies now. So, Oh Susanna is written there on the sheet music in both standard music notation and tablature. You can read either, they're the same. And if you don't know how to do either one of those things, then you can check out the quick answer video that'll get you going on tablature. That's the easiest thing to start with first. There's also books in the method book series on note reading and tablature so you can master those things. There's videos, extensive videos that go with those lessons and those books. So, lots of places to get help. I'm going to just go ahead and assume you already know how. Now with flat picking, we generally do down plucks on the notes that are on the beat and up plucks on the notes that are on the off beat. So in that first part, we're going to go down, up, down. Now, because we have lots of places where we have quarter notes back to back, it can work really well to do a down pluck on the notes that are on beats 1 or 3 and up plucks on the notes that are beats 2 and 4 when you have quarter notes back to back or even half notes and whole notes thrown in there. So I'm going to do a little bit of that with this because there's lots of places with quarter notes back to back. Okay, this is how the melody sounds. It's in cut time, but I'm going to count it like it's in 4/4. We're going to read it like it's in 4/4. Cut time is just feeling something in 2, like when we're going faster. Da 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 instead of da 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 da. It's easier to feel it in 2 at faster tempos. We're not going to play the melody that fast, though you can work it up as fast as you can get it accurately. Okay, so it'll go 1, 2, 3. wraps us up for this lesson. I hope you're having a blast. I love flat picking. I love the rhythm, just that driving rhythm. It's so fun, so great. In the next lesson, so in lesson 20, we're going to be working on the bass note runs or bass note walks between the C chord and the F chord. So we're going to be inserting it between C and F. It's going to be great. Take care. I'll see you then. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.